Good morning. The other day when I was in a certain forum with some friends, I wrote a little story, and so I thought I would read the story as a vlog because it was just kind of a spur of the moment thing that was in my head. So, and they seemed to like it, so I thought I would share it with other people as well. And so I'm calling this, it's from Rachel's World, but it's called Robert and the Trees. And just so you know, I'm starting this day with the appropriate mug of coffee with a Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 on it, and an apple, and a Haight-Ashbury shirt, which my friend Jim will hate because he hates the hate, but that's okay. I didn't have a bar snake t-shirt to wear, so I thought a Haight-Ashbury shirt would be just as appropriate. So this is Robert and the Trees. Oh, and playing in the background is the Los Angeles Guitar Quartet. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a tree. It had stood in the same spot for years and years, growing and growing until it was a fine old tree. It was on the greenway of a parking lot. It got to see lots of action, but not too much where it stood. There were a few two-leggeds it had grown attached to over the years, as it had stood there watching them come in each day. Some of them smiled at the tree, parked under its shade in the summer, and kicked its leaves in the fall. The tree really liked those people. One day, one of its favorite people, Robert, parked close. The tree was very glad, but it was a blustery day that day. The tree was old and tired. The wind blew, the rain fell. The tree felt itself being tossed this way and that. It couldn't stay grounded the way it had all those years before. Before the tree knew it, it felt boughs breaking, limbs tearing. The tree could see it was going to end up on Robert's car. And though the tree couldn't stop the fall, it could control where it fell. These cars were particularly important to the two-legged, so that the tree did its best to fall on a part of the car that would not cause too much damage. It felt awful, though. How could it do this to one of its favorite people? As it fell, the tree sent out its last message along the root systems of the trees and plants. Take care of Robert. He's a good human. A shock went through the plant world. It wasn't often that trees actually called a human by name. Trees were around too long to get close to any one two-legged, unlike the flash lives of annuals and perennials who depended on the kindness of humans. The trees around took note. This was a human to take care. Months later, a tree that had been watching over the apartment complex where Robert lived overheard two other two-leggeds talk about robbing Robert. The tree had heard these two-leggeds before as they planned their nefarious activities. They delighted in causing misery in others' lives. Robert always parked near the same area near his home. That night, they planned to hide in the very trees who watched over Robert, to jump out, seize him, hijack his car, and rob his home. The tree had to do something. It had heard the old one place its protection on Robert. It needed to do something. As luck would have it, it was another blustery day in Oregon, which gave the young tree an idea. As the wind blew, the tree tossed its limbs even more than the force. Throwing itself into the tumult, if it could get the right limbs and branches to tear free, they would block the parking spot and prevent Robert from parking there. And at least the robbers would be put off for the moment. The tearing limbs and branches would hurt the tree, but they would grow back over time. In the meantime, he could make sure this one human was safe. With one final wrench, the tree screamed in pain, releasing its limbs and passing out, letting the sap run through to heal the gap. Hours later, the tree felt a light hit its trunk. A familiar car pulled up to the parking spot, paused, then backed away and drove off to a lighted area across the way beneath a streetlight. The robbers hidden in the trees and bushes by the young tree cursed as they watched Robert get out under the light, chat with neighbors, and walk over to his apartment and enter unharmed. The tree sighed. Robert was safe for now. So that's the story of Robert and the Trees. And Pi has decided to join me. So there you go. Okay, have a great Saturday. Enjoy it. Ciao. Oh, ciao.